It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, another independence declaring kind of guy, Mr. Stewart Rhodes from Oath Keepers. Say you're there, Stewart.
I am here.
He is there. You know, your ears must have been ringing last night, man. We're watching the Ron Paul debate, and everybody's like, well, are you going to the thing on the 27th, 30th? Are you going to do it? Yeah, I said, no, Stewart Rhodes don't love me. He's not calling me back.
Give me a break, dude. You're more than welcome to be there. You better be there.
Damn it. You know, I tell you what, this is what I was telling the people. I'm not intending on going unless, I don't know, I'm not even sure why I would go, because I did my bit, and it's really your show for what you are doing.
No. You need to come out there and cover it, and you need to speak and give them your experience, what you experienced in North Phoenix.
Yeah, well, I tell you why. This is, and that's what we need to. And we'll have this open discussion. You and I haven't really talked about this yet, and we'll do it for the audience, and I'll give you my perspective, and then we'll talk about it.
Right.
This is. I have been through this before. Okay, this has happened over forever, and I can see what questions I've learned, what questions to ask, and they haven't asked them yet. They think that this is about just bad people being bad, and we need to replace them and put the right guy behind a lever of power, or give the ring of power to the right guy, and it'll be all right. And I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. This goes much bigger, much larger, much higher than you think. There is, Quartzsite's got a push pin in it, okay? They have, them targeted for whatever their future plans are, and I got a few ideas of what. And on the video, Sierra has put up various different maps and different things to demonstrate what I'm talking about. And I want to share this with you. Did you get to hear the second hour of the Tuesday show I did out there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you kind of got a bead on what my concerns are. Now, this is the thing. You have 10 officers out there, and I just found out when I was out there that 6 of the 10 are married couples, okay? Now, the police academy guy that I had go out there and talk to them about things to watch out for, like the officers will do certain things. Oh, he touched me, assaulted me, and we charge felonies and all this other kind of crap. Be careful, because that's how they roll out there. So I go, this is what we need to be concerned about is, why did these 10 all of a sudden got religion and said, hey, man, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. This guy is rogue and bad. Well, 6 of them are married couples, is what I was told. So we need to confirm that, from direct sources, but that's what, Police Academy guy told me. So I go, all right, well, that's cool. His concern was, does that mean they were the most qualified, bestest person to be? All of a sudden, these 3 officers, the best qualified to fill the next slot, was somebody else, or is it just because, hey, my wife or husband needs a job? Well, that's small town, crap happens. So then they start getting uncomfortable with what the police chief was telling them to do. The reason they came out is when Jennifer Jones, now go ahead and give disclosure here, you represent her in some way. Talk about that.
I do. Yeah, I represent both her and also Mayor Foster and Mike Roth in their wrongful arrest claims. So at this point, just civilly, I represent them for those claims for wrongful arrest in violation of their civil rights.
Okay, now I'm glad you're there doing that. Let me go ahead and finish on this point, and you'll see what my concern is. During that process of, now all of a sudden you got the insurance companies and the bonding companies, that kind of stuff. Hey, we're being sued. We want everything that has Jennifer Jones's name on it. Everything you ever did. Now, here you have the clerk in charge of keeping this kind of information. It starts coming out that they've been run through the, what is NCIS anyway? It's some national...
NCIC, National Criminal Investigative Background Check System. That's
okay.
the one that puts you through when you go buy a gun.
Okay, so how many times have they run her and her husband, these guys, through?
Well, that's a good question. Apparently, at least the allegation is that hundreds of times and hundreds of people have had it done. And if that's true, then you're talking about hundreds of felony counts, federal felonies.
Now, one thing that we found out is that the police chief didn't know when he's talking to the county IT guy. There's a computer guy that kind of helped them with their computer system, set up their email and everything. He gets a call from the police chief. He puts it on speaker. Has some people around him. He's sitting there talking to him while he's working, doing whatever. And he goes, hey, how do you delete emails? I need to know how to delete. Well, I can't get out there and do them. We'll look at it. He goes, yeah, but how can I do it? I mean, if I was to do it, he goes, you can't do that. Well, if I was, how would I do it? Now, this is the kind of stuff that's going on. Now, when the insurance company wanted to know all this stuff that was going on and they start finding this information, these officers are like, man, this is coming out. This is bad. This is just tip of the iceberg. Here we go. You know what? Let me sign a letter saying how much I don't want to be part of this when this comes out.
This is what you're guessing happened, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, the timing was, when did they do this? When the insurance company defending the suit that's coming out asked for all of this information, all of a sudden they saw where this was going, in my estimation, and that they wanted to make sure they got on the not losing side. So
well, maybe, but here's the thing, though. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
No, as you should.
That they're doing it for honorable reasons, and that's why we're going to go there on the 27th, because we want to reinforce the practice of cops being whistleblowers and standing up to corruption in their own department.
No, that's exactly what I was building up to. Regardless of this, Oath Keepers is coming out to make sure that you have positive reinforcement of when officers do this, for whatever reason. Because if you don't, who else does? When they come out on this, for whatever motivated them to finally, make the break, it doesn't seem like they were big giant fans of doing this anyway, but, I mean, what do you do? And this, when you have a case like this comes out, it's not so much that they feared for themselves. Maybe they didn't do anything bad or they were worried about, but it was a really good opportunity for them to make a declarative statement. Look, I am not part of this. I don't want anything to do with this. And, let me know when you need me to testify and whatever, because damn, okay? Here comes Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers goes out there and they say, you know what? We're supportive of this type of behavior when law enforcement finally takes their oath seriously. When they see what's happening to people when they get up at a microphone and want to tell what's really going on, all of a sudden they're drug off by the uniform and the gun. They're going, you know what? Heck no. So, Oath Keepers comes out. We're supporting the Constitution. We're making sure that we're going to defend. That's what we're all about. Police and military against the New World Order was an effort from Jack McLam, Phoenix police officer here, Aid and Abet newsletter. This stuff has been going on for a long time, and they warned us that police and military are going to be the tip of the spear in the abuse of rights and this bring on the New World, whatever the heck. Here is exactly the example of it. Here comes Stewart Rhodes. And I wanted to get this all out in the first segment so that we could understand what's really going on out there and what role you're going to play. And when we come back in the next segment, we'll get some details about what you're going to be doing on August 27th. Now, in the next minute that we got before the first break, I'm going to give it to you, and you go and tell me, what got you interested in this and how you got involved real quick.
This right here. We had a mayor first who stood up and said she has a right to speak when Jennifer Jones was drug off the microphone, and that caught our attention. He's a Marine veteran, and he stood up and did what was right, and she was doing what was right also. She's a Ron Paul activist who's part of the grassroots revival of getting involved and confronting corruption, and so that was also a stand-up thing to do. That's what first got our attention. And then the police officers stood up and said, well, hey, we have to reinforce this good behavior, just like we called out oath-breaking in Tucson. We got to stand up and support oath-keeping.
Yes, we do. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, and my special guest, Stewart Rhodes from Oath Keepers. We'll see what we can do to help each other. We'll talk about more when we come back and make sure this Quartzsite thing never goes away, because it never will.